Welcome to Martini Time. So, hope you're having a good Memorial Day. I started this, I think about 93 times ago. It's been when I filed these talks, I number them, and I think I'm up to 93. For 3 months, we've been having this. What I began with was the Eucharist. as the Martini priest, we're having communion. So I don't want you to be offended, but it's the metaphor. And just a little while ago, I was writing on Facebook, and somebody mentioned something about, is the biblical God real? And I wrote, the church, you could look at it as food. If you go back to the Eucharist, it all started with food. You see, it all started with the Last Supper and the communion and the Mass. That's been the cross of Christianity, has been this meal. Isn't that strange? It's Christianity is a restaurant. It's all about sharing food, and that's very simple. We all love sharing food. I mean, that's my biggest entertainment now is going out to restaurants and sharing food. My God, I was just down at Jacksonville Beach last weekend, and we went out to eat at the restaurants at the beach, and my God, they were packed, and the energy was so high, and the noise and the joy and the drinking, the wine and the bread. So this communion, you see, is just going on, and it's the center of everything. You sit down to a meal, you break bread together, you share food, you have a martini. So this thing is really central. But what happened with religion is that you go to a church and you get the menu. And each church, like a different restaurant, has its own unique menu. And you have your Catholic restaurants and your Presbyterian restaurants. These are chain stores, chains, so you have the Presbyterian chain, and every town has a little Presbyterian restaurant. And then you have Episcopal and Methodist and Evangelicals and Pentecostal and so forth. And they're all chains, and you each go, you pick the chain you want. Do you want Italian food tonight, or Chinese food, or you want Episcopalian food or Presbyterian food? And you go to the restaurant of your choice. And you can either shop around, or you can just continue to go to your favorite restaurant. And you get a menu, a program, and it has a description of the meal. You get the creed and the doctrine and the scriptures, and the minister comes out and he's going to read from the menu about today's meal, you see. And you have images, and you have stories of the food, and that's what most people eat. So it's kind of like going to a restaurant and saying, I'll have the ribeye, and you cut up the picture of the ribeye in the menu and eat that. So we kind of like eat the description of God. So we kind of like eat the menu of God according to the restaurant church that we particular go to, and what our parents went to, you see. So we've missed the taste. We've missed the eating the actual rib steak. We miss eating the food. Now, if you go to a real restaurant, you don't eat the menu, you eat the food. If you go to a church, you eat the menu. We've lost the taste of God. We've lost the scent of God. We've lost the feeling of God, you see. It's all in the menu. And we share the menu, and we argue over the menu. My menu is better than your menu. We have menu wars. And then, of course, you have the Islam menu and the Christian menu. Now we have two chain restaurants fighting each other, you see. And it's, when you look at it that way, it's kind of like we've missed the taste. What does God taste like? If you can't taste it, why eat it? What do you? If you can't taste it, where's the pleasure in it? Where's the reality in it? Where's the truth in it? Where's the communion? You see, where's the Last Supper? Where's the Eucharist? We've lost it. It's all on the menu now. And so, no wonder people are dissatisfied. It just doesn't taste right to keep eating the menu. Something's missing. But everybody said you should eat more, or try harder, or believe more. Believe this menu is God. So if it doesn't taste like God, it's your problem. You're not believing hard enough. Have faith. Have faith in the menu. So it's very interesting looking at it from that viewpoint. And so it's no wonder that the modern world is really split into religious churches who serve the menu and people who are going off and experimenting on their own to find the taste of God. So you've got, and that creates restaurants too. So now you got the yoga restaurants, and you got the Zen restaurants, and you got the New Age restaurants, and you got the non-dual restaurants. Let's go have a non-dual meal tonight. Let's go have a New Age deal. So all of these new restaurants are springing up, each one saying, we have the taste of God. So come here, we have the real taste. We have God. Those are all menus over there. We have the real food here, And so you look at the modern world today, and I'm not finding fault. It's just funny. It's just funny, that it's just, it's amazing how the world has, that religion has fragmented into different religious restaurants, and then it's like a Protestant revolution. In other words, the Middle Ages fractured into the Protestant different loaves of restaurants. So you had your different restaurants in the Protestant. The Catholic restaurant still stayed the same. And they kept the Mass at the center. The Protestant restaurants went more for the menu. But, and even that, you see, there's been a new Reformation. So even that has, the Catholic and the Protestant restaurants were all kind of like became a chain restaurant business, that became like, I don't know, what's the name of a restaurant that's gone out of business? Howard Johnson's. Okay, so where did Howard Johnson's go? Well, it was a big thing in the 60s. Now it's gone, you see. And so the chain restaurants of the Catholics and the Protestants, you see, kind of like Howard Johnson's. A whole new food industry has come up that is trying to find and offer the taste of God. Now, because the other ones, they just got repeating themselves. When you go to a restaurant and it's the same thing you had last week, you want something new. There's no, it's just repeating the same menu. So this is called, this is these new restaurants that have come up that are you could call the mystical restaurants. They're offering not dogma, but they're trying to offer the taste of God. So what is the taste of God? What does God taste like? Well, this is why I went to Zen. There is Zen has many succinct little definitions, and one of them is one taste. So one taste means just this. You don't add anything to it. You don't add any sauce to it. You don't add any hot sauce. You don't add any dressing or anything. It's just this. So one taste means that life is just this. And you don't need to, if you add anything, if you add any thought, like, oh, it could be better. Oh, you need to add a little more pepper. Or you need to add a little this and it'll be better, you see. So this whole idea of one taste means that this moment is it. That this moment cannot be improved. This moment is the whole cosmos, the whole universe. This moment is God. This moment is everything compressed and brought to you in just this taste. So this taste is kind of like the grain of sand that is all the beaches in the world. If you know one grain of sand, you know all the oceans. If you know one drop of water, you know all of the oceans. So if you know one taste completely, you know God. God is all. So when you come to this moment, when you come to every moment, there is a taste to it that is just this. And if the mind comes in like a cook and says it could be better, or it's better than it was yesterday, or you need to add this or that, you see, you've lost the taste. The taste is unconditional now. Whatever now is, that's the one taste. It can't be divided. It can't be fragmented. It can't be split apart into different tastes. Oh, this is a better taste, that taste, you see. So this is why, the expert who has refined his taste so much so that he's very critical of everything, you see, that person cannot know one taste. The person who knows one taste is one who has an empty mind, has an accepting mind that just accepts this taste, this moment. And in that way, the whole restaurant business of menus and variety and excitement and novelty and all of that comes crashing down to life is just this. So it makes life very simple. It makes life just this. It makes life uncomplicated. And it makes the mind empty of the past and what you think should be on the plate, and the comparison, and the contrasting, and the complaining, and the imagining, and all of that. So when you get down to just this, just one taste, then everything is just this one taste. Everything is just the one. This moment is the one that cannot be divided. And that's the definition of God. In the Old Testament, Yahweh, God is, have no other gods before me. Have no other tastes before me. Have no other thoughts before me. Have no other ideas other than me. But what is me? Well, see, if you say God is an idea, well, now you're back on the menu. You're back in the menu once you say God is an idea. But if you say God is just this sip, just this taste, and you can taste it, you can eat. When we eat, we're not even conscious we're eating half the time. But if you just eat the walnut, if you just eat the blueberry, this just the taste, just that taste, without comparing, without contrasting, without thinking about eating a strawberry, or without thinking about yesterday's blueberry or tomorrow's blueberry, but just this blueberry, just this moment, you see, that is the Eucharist. So when Jesus says, "This is my body, this is my blood," what he's talking about, he's speaking from just this. Just this. He's not talking about some bread back in Jerusalem. He's not talking about some wafer in a church or some grape juice that pretends to be wine. He's talking about this moment. This moment is my blood. This moment is my bread. Eat this and remember me. Eat this and remember me. But not some guy in the past, not somebody on the menu, not somebody that's in some restaurant, church restaurant. No. Eat this piece of life and don't remember me, but be me. Remembering doesn't mean, oh, I'm remembering somebody in the past. No. You are the present moment. You are one taste. You are alive. You are the Christ experience, you see. You are the Eucharist. You see the difference? We're not something in the past or the future. We are right now. And right now is one taste. This is it. One taste, you see? So when you can let go of the menu mind, you can let go of the comparing and the contrasting and the complaining and the analytical and the knowing mind, the knowledge mind, the expert mind. You see, the mind with all the credentials and all that. You just drop into just this, and it's okay. This moment is always okay because it cannot be different than it is. It is perfectly this moment. Every moment is perfectly now. And it's what we add to it that makes us live in the menu in the restaurant church, where we eat the menu instead of life. So, thank you, and I'll see you in the morning.